So Uganda is a landlocked country, but its entire economy depends on a stretch of coastline it doesn't control. And that's what's behind this new flare-up over access to the Indian Ocean and why it matters far beyond diplomatic statements. President Yoweri Museveni has been arguing that countries like Uganda are effectively entitled to the sea, warning that future wars could be fought if coastal states squeeze landlocked neighbors. And he's not just being dramatic. Almost everything in Uganda, fuel, cooking oil, imported food, medicine, construction materials, passes through ports in Kenya or Tanzania before it hits shelves inland. When the corridor is blocked or prices jump at the port, people feel it almost immediately at the pump and in the market. Those comments set off alarms next door in Kenya. Top officials rushed out to reassure the region that Kenya will not block Uganda's access to the port of Mombasa, pointing to international law that protects transit rights and painting Kenya as a responsible gateway for its neighbors. They're trying to calm fears after earlier disputes over fuel supply deals and taxes that already pushed Uganda to look at pipelines through Tanzania instead. But the tension is part of a larger pattern. Ethiopia has floated its own claims for the Red Sea access and triggered a diplomatic crisis with Somalia. Other landlocked countries like South Sudan and Rwanda are quietly calculating what happens if a port state changes government and suddenly decides to use access as leverage over policy. And for ordinary East Africans, this isn't some abstract elite argument. It's about whether truck drivers keep their jobs, whether food and fuel prices explode after a political dispute, and whether young people are dragged into conflicts rooted in colonial era borders that ignored who actually used the land and the sea. Right now, the message from Nairobi is, don't worry, we won't shut you out. But the real question is what happens when politics shift or when controlling a port becomes the quickest way to punish a neighbor. In a world where shipping lanes and choke points can decide who eats, who travels, and who trades, sea access is going to keep coming up loudly until there's a regional deal people actually trust. If you believe independent journalism like this matters, consider supporting the show through Patreon or a YouTube membership with added perks. For as little as $1 a month, you can help us keep telling the stories that go far beyond the headlines and bringing valuable information to the masses. We don't have big donors or sponsors. We are truly building this pure and from the ground up. If you've gotten something out of these videos, please consider becoming a supporter today and be sure to follow the show so that you don't miss any new updates.